Hi everyone, I'm Sofia and I'm a research scientist in the field of virology. Virology is the study of viruses, which are microscopic particles that infect cells and cause disease. Currently, I'm at the early stages of my career as I'm a PhD student. A PhD is a postgraduate degree, one that you do after your 3 or 4 year undergraduate degree, where you focus on a particular area of novel research. I'm currently researching a virus that infects pigs, investigating how the virus interacts with pigs to try and improve vaccines. The main responsibilities or jobs of a scientist are performing experiments, presenting data, and writing papers. To do these things, you have to be organised, motivated, innovative, resilient, and a good communicator. Don't worry about being all these things right now. These are skills and attributes you will develop as you progress through your career. A typical day in research is full of experiments. You will need to plan and design these yourself, making sure you have everything you need: chemicals, cells, machines, methods to carry them out. These experiments will involve investigating new ideas, optimizing methods, or trying to confirm previous results. For me, this involves identifying new protein-protein interactions and what the consequences of these interactions are. Performing experiments can be quite tiring, as they can involve working with a lot of samples or a complicated method, so you really have to concentrate. You then need to write up your experiments, so you know exactly what you did, what the results were, and what they mean, so they can be published later in a paper or included in a presentation at a meeting or conference. Some days will be busier than others, and sometimes you might have to work evenings or weekends. My work is quite independent as I perform experiments by myself, but it is still a very sociable environment as I do talk to other members of my lab regularly, mainly my supervisor, who is my boss, to discuss results, get advice, and plan experiments. The best 3 things about my job are: 1, discovering new things. There's nothing more exciting than looking at your results and you've discovered something new that isn't in any textbooks or papers and not even your supervisor knows about it. 2, travel. There's lots of opportunities to travel in science, either for collaborations, so you might work on a project with people from a different lab, university or country, or for conferences, where you go and present your work to others either as a talk or poster presentation. Last year, I gave my very first talk in Chicago, which was an amazing experience for me. I learned a lot from it, and I also got to visit an incredible city. Finally, number 3 is outreach. There's lots of opportunities to get involved with outreach. This involves going into schools or to science shows or making videos like this, and explaining your work and your career path to children of all ages. This is something I really enjoy and I didn't realise I could get involved in before becoming a scientist. The most challenging parts of my job are experiments not working and having to think of new ideas. The experiments I do aren't like what you do in school, where there's instructions and they always work, and even if they don't work, your teacher knows the answer. If mine don't work, I don't know the answer. I often don't know why it didn't work, and I've got to repeat something that could have taken quite a while to set up. Additionally, thinking of new ideas can be difficult, whether it's explaining your results and thinking of a story to tie them all together, or figuring out why something didn't work. However, for me, the good things outweigh the challenges, and I really enjoy working in science. If you're thinking about becoming a scientist, I would say work hard. Better grades will make the journey easier. However, don't worry, there are lots of paths into science if things don't work out. I know a lot of you had work experience lined up and it got cancelled, but even if you've had or can arrange in future just a day of work experience or shadowing or talking to a scientist, that's still useful. It's all about how you sell your experience, not just saying what you did exactly, but what it taught you and what you got out of it. Also, to work in science, you have to prepare yourself for failure. When experiments don't work, as they often don't, it can be upsetting and stressful, but it doesn't mean you're a bad scientist. You've got to be able to pick yourself up and try again. Finally, make sure to show your enthusiasm and how excited you are about science in applications and interviews. Thanks for listening.